Moore, and I'm one of the financial advisors at CCR Wealth Management. And our firm is the financial advisor or the wealth management firm that's working with the practice on the retirement plan. So tonight we want to go over a few items concerning the retirement plan. One, how it works, some of the new upcoming changes, and some of the 2021 items that we want to address for everyone. So,
Oops.
Let's see. Trying to figure out who that is. So, all right. So I think everyone now should be muted. So as I was saying, CCR Wealth Management started with Beacon Dental over the summer to review the retirement plan, as well as we became the advisor to the practice for you. So we're here to help you in any way. And I'd like you guys, we'll be sharing my contact information at the end of this, but we're a resource here for you to answer any questions. So like I was saying, a quick intro of CCR Wealth Management. We are a wealth management firm located in Westboro, Mass, and in Glastonbury, Connecticut. We handle about 350 retirement plans, and about 300 of them are dental or medical. So we kind of know exactly what you guys are looking for. So just quickly about how the plan works and how the plan operates. Eligibility in order to participate in the retirement plan is age 21. You must work for the practice for 3 months and on track to be a full-time employee. And when I mean full-time employee is a little different in your world versus my world. A full-time employee in my world, the retirement world, is anyone that's on track to work 1,000 hours. I know in the real world where you guys all work, it's technically 2,080 hours, but in my world, it's about 1,000 hours. So if you're age 21, 3 months of service, you may enter the retirement plan on the next month following. So for example, if Beacon hired me today, we would go out 3 months, that would be March 16th, and I would be eligible to come into the retirement plan on April 1st from that standpoint. So it's actually when you're looking at the eligibility, it's a great eligibility that you have that allows you to get into the retirement plan at a much sooner time than most dental or medical practices. That being said, one of the items that we have to discuss for 2021 is the new match that the practice is going to be offering for 2021. So I wanted to kind of walk everyone through this on how this works. So in 2021, the practice is going to offer a safe harbor match. And that match is the following. The practice matches 100% of the first 3% of pay that's contributed and 50% on the next 2%. Let me translate to English. So if you put in 1%, the practice gives you 1. If you do 2, you get 2. If you do 3, you get 3%. 4, you get 3.5. 5 or more, you will receive 4% from the practice. Okay? That safe harbor match that I just outlined is 100% vested, meaning if you were to leave the practice, the safe harbor match goes with you. So let me explain that safe harbor in a little bit more detail. So the outline of how what you contribute is what you would receive from the practice. It's 100% vested, but the safe harbor is for all non-highly compensated individuals. And let me explain what that means. A non-highly compensated individual is anyone that earns less than $130,000. Okay, so the safe harbor is for any individual that earns less than $130,000 in W-2 wages. Anyone that makes more than $130,000 does not receive the safe harbor contribution, but you will be able to contribute into the retirement plan. In 2020 and 2021, the maximum contribution limits that you're allowed to put in a 401k is any dollar amount up to $19,500. Anyone over the golden age of 50 can contribute the additional $6,500 for a maximum of $26,000. Okay, so you can contribute any dollar amount up to $19,500 from that standpoint. A question that I'm usually asked is, how much should you contribute? A good number, typically in your 20s and 30s, somewhere between 5 and 10%. And in your 40s and 50s, somewhere between 10, 11 to 15%. The reason why that number is higher in your 40s and 50s is because you have a shorter period of time for that money to grow for you versus a 25-year-old who has 40 plus years to have that money grow for you. So with that being said, I'm going to stop right there. Ask any questions. I want to make sure everyone kind of understands how the eligibility works and any questions about the new safe harbor that the practice is offering. I know that's something that you didn't have in the past. I know some people have asked for that, and the practice has decided to offer that great benefit in 2021 when you're looking at it. So any questions on the safe harbor while we're talking about it? All right, it looks like everyone kind of understands that. So does someone have a question? Okay.
I do. So, I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
How about the carryovers?
When you say carryover, what do you mean by carryover?
The people with existing 401k plans. Will everything 100% carry over to the new plan?
So are you saying that current people in the nationwide plan right now?
Yes.
Okay. So we're just about to get on the transition about the next step, but when you're looking at it, in 2020, the practice didn't offer a safe harbor contribution, all right, or any sort of matching contribution, but in 2021, they're going to be rolling out this safe harbor contribution. So what we're also doing at this same time as we were going through and as the practice was reviewing the retirement plan to make sure that they were offering the best retirement benefits to you, was we also reviewed the current plan at Nationwide. So what we're doing is during this time period, we reviewed the plan, and we are going to be moving the retirement plan from Nationwide over to a company called Newport Group, located in California. Newport is the record keeper, and they use a company called Matrix as the custodian. And utilizing this relationship, we were able to bring in some of the best money managers available, mutual fund families at the lowest cost from that standpoint. And that's one of the biggest things that they were, the practice was looking to do, was to bring you better mutual fund options, the best available at the lowest cost.
Right, here we go.
So when you're looking at this, one of the changes over to Newport is the practice is actually going to be picking up some of the administrative costs that was a part of the Nationwide platform. So this is another great benefit that they're going to be doing, is they're going to be picking up some of the administrative costs that you are paying. They're going to be picking up and absorbing that cost. And potentially, it looks like most people are going to be saving somewhere about, on the average, about 0.9% to 1% in fees at the end of the day. So if you think of that, that's a significant savings when you're looking at this, because compound that out over 20, 30, 40%, 1% in fees is a substantial amount that's going to go back into your pocket or into your retirement savings at the end of the day. So yes, we kind of, the practice wanted to offer this, this match at the end of the day, and you can only offer the match on the beginning of a new year. So what we're doing here is we're going to be moving over the retirement plan, that all the assets that are currently at Nationwide, at some point in probably late February, the assets that are in Nationwide will be transitioned from Nationwide over into your new account at Newport Group. So when that transition timeline has been given to us, and when Nationwide has kind of given us a date for the transition, Dina will be sending out all the communication announcing when this is going to occur. Realistically, it is going to be late February, because Nationwide requires 60 days notice for the transfer. Okay, so come January 1st, we are going to start 401k contributions. The 401k contributions are going to be deposited into the Newport plan starting January 1st. So your new monies will be going into the 401k plan at Newport Group, and the transition will occur from Nationwide over at the end of February. All right, but everyone will be fully communicated with when that occurs. Does that make sense? Diana?
Yes, thank you. Sorry,
all right.
Muted myself.
So, yeah, so this is, no, I just want to make sure that you were okay with that. So this is kind of a few steps that we're looking at. So, the biggest thing is we wanted to make sure the contributions go into the new plan starting, the new year. And we wanted to make sure that, everyone had a understanding on how the safe harbor worked. And it's like I said, this is a great benefit that they're offering when you're looking at it, is matching your contributions that are going in. So let's talk about the transition over to Newport. So I believe that Dina had distributed out to everyone the enrollment booklet that you should have received. So I'm kind of share this with everyone, if you can see my screen at the end of the day. So once on December 28th, the Newport website will actually be live, where you can log into your account and view your account on December 28th, okay? So inside that enrollment book, basically in the first few pages, it outlines how you can access your account. As we get closer to the 28th, I will send an email to everyone, or to Dina, that she can forward out, reminding everyone that you can log into your account today and view it, okay? So it's a very simple process. You can go into the Newport website and access your account. In a little bit, I'm actually going to show you guys a quick demo of the website so you can kind of see what it looks like at the end of the day. So once we start moving forward here inside the enrollment book, over the next week, all right, what everyone needs to do is, inside the enrollment material that Dina distributed out, is to complete 2 documents at the end of the enrollment guide, okay? And I'm actually just trying to bring this up so you can see it versus me scrolling through here and hurting your eyes. So I'll be bringing that back up in a second. So you should be able to see the screen here in the back of the enrollment book. Okay, there's 2 very important pages that you need to complete. Okay, so all of your data for everyone that's currently in the Nationwide plan, even if you've been recently enrolled into the Nationwide plan. All of your data from Nationwide has been transitioned over to Newport. So your accounts are set up on their end right now, but the plan's just not live where you can actually log into your account. What we need everyone to do, for everyone that's currently in Nationwide, is to complete this page here, the enrollment form, with just putting your name at the top. All the other information we have already. All right, so we just need your name at the top. For those of you who are newly eligible, that will be eligible come January 1st, we need all of your information so we can get you in the system and get your account set up. So if you're already in the plan, we just need your name at the top. The middle part of this enrollment form is your enrollment election. How much do you wish to contribute, okay? Since it's the beginning of a quarter, this will allow you to decide whether or not you want to increase your contribution to make sure that you're taking full advantage of the safe harbor matching contribution from the practice, okay? So currently you might be doing 2 or 3%, and it might make sense for you to try to get up to that 5% if you can, to take full advantage of that contribution. Inside the 401k, you have the ability to contribute either a percent of pay or a flat dollar amount. It's clearly up to you. For most people, if you're hourly, it makes more sense to do a percent of pay, because if you work a few more hours, more goes in. If you work less hours, it's proportional, it'll go down with you. If you're salaried, flat dollar amount works at the end of the day. The plan has the ability for you to do a Roth contribution. And let me explain the difference between pre-tax and Roth. All right, pre-tax is the money that's going in before taxes, where you're not paying any state or federal tax on the money. You pay the taxes down the road when you retire. And ultimately, for most people, when you retire, you're potentially in a lower tax bracket because you really don't have any income coming in. And if you move to a state like Florida, New Hampshire, Texas, to name a few, there's no state income tax, all right, when you're looking at it. A Roth contribution is you pay the tax now, and the money comes out tax-free in your retirement years. So the difference really from a pre-tax and a Roth is it's more of a tax question is, do you think that you're going to be in a higher tax bracket when you retire? If you think you are, then pay the tax now, all right? If you have questions along these lines and you want to discuss this in greater detail, let me know. More than happy to kind of walk you through and kind of figure out what's in the best interest for you at the end of the day. I will tell you that everyone should try on a semi-annual basis or maybe an annual basis to increase your contribution by a small amount. And I say that because if you earned $1,000 every 2 weeks, and I asked you to go up by 1%, 1% of $1,000 is $10. Realistically, it's about a $7.50 difference in your net take home. Break that down on a weekly basis, it's $3.75. Could you find that? Probably. It's something that you should do only because we never make changes in increasing our contributions. In this retirement plan that the practice is offering to you is a great benefit that will help you build your retirement savings. And ultimately, when you retire, there are no more paychecks. What you're putting away will ultimately be your paychecks in your retirement years. So that being said, now it really becomes one of the questions of, great, I decided to put in 5%. I'm getting this great match from my employer. Where in the world does this money go from at the end of the day? So inside this retirement plan, I like to say that you have 2 different ways that you can invest your money. A lot of us have heard the old catchphrase, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. You got to diversify and spread out the risk, okay? I can kind of help you, walk you through a guide and how to create your own investment allocation. What I mean by that is what goes in growth, what goes in international, what goes in all the different investment categories. All right, so you can do that yourself. Also in this plan, very similar to what you have in the nationwide plan, you currently have the nationwide target date funds. Inside this plan, we're going to be offering the Vanguard target date funds, which is the other alternative to doing yourself. The target date concept is a concept where Vanguard is managing the money for an expected date in the future, and the portfolio will change over time automatically for you where you don't need to do anything. So someone 25 today would probably be in a more aggressive allocation. What I mean by more aggressive, more stocks than bonds, more conservative investments. And over time, that portfolio will change and adjust with you. So what I mean by that is the following. Let me see here. So what I brought up in the screen, just so you can kind of see what this looks like. This is the Vanguard Target Date Fund 2060. This would be the equivalent of someone expected to retire between the year 2058 and 2062. I know that sounds a little depressing, okay? So that is someone realistically right now, if you kind of put it out there, someone right around 23 to 27 when you're looking at it, that's an ideal portfolio. And if you're looking at it, it's roughly 89.62% in stocks, and the remaining, 10.38% in conservative investments. Now, this 25-year-old that we're talking about right now, I'm going to fast forward and age this individual to someone that's currently about 60 today, just so you can see this. So that portfolio that was 89% stocks over that, 35-year time period automatically changed and went from 89 to 59, and then it brought in more bonds. So over time, that portfolio automatically changes for you. So it's a great investment for those of us that kind of set our investments and tend to forget about it, okay? Which is a lot of us. And there's nothing wrong with that because we are all very busy with our careers and our life and every other thing going on. And we tend not to look at this stuff. So that's something that you can take a look at. Back to that enrollment form that I was walking everyone through. So you select your investments. Like I said, I can help you with that. You can just let me know. We can kind of walk through that. Then you sign the enrollment form. Okay, simple there. And then it becomes the next form. I can get it to come up here. Should be coming. There we go. So the next form is a beneficiary form. So the beneficiary form is a form in the event that something happens to you. What are your intentions for your retirement assets? Okay. So basically you go through here and then you kind of fill this out. But if you're married, your spouse is your beneficiary. If you do not want your spouse to be your beneficiary, good luck trying, because then it must be notarized and your spouse needs to sign off on it, and it must be notarized. The signature must be notarized. So that's why I said good luck trying, okay? If you're not married, it can be whoever you wish. And then, typically if you're married, you might want to put your children down as a contingent beneficiary. So in the event something were to happen to you, from that standpoint, then it would go to the children. So if you have any questions on the form, again, please reach out to me. More than happy to kind of walk you through that. So that being said, do we have any questions so far that I can address?
Rich, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to confirm. So on the enrollment form for people that are already in the plan, they would fill out their name and they fill out what they want to contribute to the plan, either as a percentage or a dollar amount, indicate whether it's pre-tax or Roth, and then they sign the form. For somebody that's not enrolled, they have to fill out that enrollment form out completely.
So anyone that's in the plan just needs to put their name on the form. If they want to change their election, they can. If they want to leave it alone, Dina, they can just leave it alone because you're going to continue with the normal payrolls that they're currently contributing. But everyone still needs to complete that investment selection form.
Okay.
Even if you're in Nationwide, okay? Because what we want to do is we want to give everyone the ability to select from all the new funds that are offered to have a clean slate to make sure that you're in the right allocation for yourself. Okay, so everyone, and if no one puts anything down on the form, so if you leave the form blank, you will automatically be defaulted into one of the appropriate target date funds based on your expected date of retirement. Okay, so if we get a blank form back, you're automatically going to get defaulted into the target date fund, and then you can go in at any time to change your investments at that point. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So here is the Newport website. All right. So newportgroup.com. Okay. And what you would do is you go to login, participant access. All right. And so this is outlined in the instructions inside the enrollment book. But the first time that you go in, your username is your social security number, and your password is your entire date of birth. Okay? And again, those are outlined in the instructions. And on the 28th, when we provide the communication saying that you can log into your account, that will also be in the communication of how to access your account. Okay? So
I just leave him out there, honey. Then maybe he won't keep coming in and out.
So when we go into the website, just so everyone kind of understand, I mean, it is a very robust website at the end of the day that will allow you to kind of look at all the different information. But I just wanted to quickly walk you through it. So when you log into your account and you go into the main dashboard, you'll be able to see what your account balance is and then how your allocation is broken down at the end of the day. So you'll be able to see everything from here. So you can look at, if you want to see how your account has been performing, you can log in here and look at the performance. I just got to move my screen so I can kind of see this a little bit different.
Episodes, honey, then?
So you can go in here and check your performance. So I want to see how my account's been doing in 2020. So this hypothetical portfolio is up 12%. So you'll have the ability to look at all of your individual account by individual investment that you have. You can look at by money source, meaning in this example, this individual has 401k, the employer contribution, and then Roth. So they do 401k and Roth, okay? So this individual wants to see how the monies that they've gotten from their employer, how that's done. Inside this plan, unlike some plans, you have the ability to change your investments for each one of the money sources that you have in here. So for example, if I want to invest my money a little bit more conservatively, and I want to take my safe harbor match that the practice gives me, and I want to make that more aggressive, I can. I have the ability to change those investment selections. Transactions, I want to see, what contributions have gone into the plan, which is something that you should look at to make sure that all of your contributions are going in a timely manner. So if I'm looking at this year to date, I will be able to kind of look at how much monies have gone in at the end of the day, okay? If this is a question that I'm asked all the time, I need a statement. I'm refinancing. How do I get a statement? All right. So your statements will be sent to you by regular mail at the end of every quarter. So you'll get your statement in the mail come the middle of January, the middle of April, the middle of July, and the middle of October. All right. But if you can't wait for that statement, you can log into your account and generate a statement. So you can pick any statement that you want. You can create it at the end of the day and how you want this to look. So, I generated a quick 1 year trailing. So you'll be able to kind of take a look at that from that standpoint. Investments. So all the investments that we just talked about earlier or that are listed on that one page are all broken out here, okay? So if I wanted to drill down a little bit further and see the funds, I want to look at the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index. I click on the little I for information. It will give me the performance of that, but if I go to the fund fact sheet, it will give me a lot more details on that particular investment. So this Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, just so you can see it, the number one holding in this, if you wanted to know what the top 10 holdings, it's Apple, okay? If you wanted to see what the expense ratio is, what the cost is to operate that fund, it's right there outlined as 0.14. So all this information is here. It's got some great, tools and kind of that you can look around and kind of look at that information from that standpoint. I want to point out two more things here, and then I'll ask for some questions. But there's some financial wellness here, tools, and kind of figuring out, how much money I should be saving, how much money it looks like it wants to cooperate. It's not cooperating. So you have that ability to kind of, let's see if I can refresh this.
Oh, gosh. So dry. I don't need to hear this.
So you have the financial wellness that you can take a look at. All right. So it looks like it's just not pulling through, but you can kind of go through that. All right. The one thing, and I'll just explain this, and then it's up to you, to kind of go through this. But if you want to change your contributions, you need to go on the website, and you can change your information, how much you wish to contribute, and that information will be then sent back to the practice to make those changes for you. So with that being said, are there any questions that I can answer for you?
I have a question about the beneficiary.
Yes.
So you said that if it's not your spouse, you need to get notarized. What if it's your estate?
So if you're married, okay, and it's not your spouse, then it must be notarized. If it's your estate and you're putting a trust, your spouse needs to sign the spousal consent form. But if you're not married and you want to put it into your trust, then you don't need to put you don't need spousal consent.
Okay, because I'm referring to being married. So, all right, that's clear enough.
Okay.
Is it a spouse consenting form, or it's something just go notaries and get it notarized?
So your spouse has to take that to the notary and get it notarized. So because the spouse, the notary is witnessing the spousal consent to waive their right.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, I'm gonna share my screen here and kind of give you our contact information. So like I said earlier, you know, I manage a team of 4 individuals on our retirement that handles the 350 retirement plans. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or anyone on my team. That we're more than happy to kind of answer any questions that you may have about, you know, how to invest your money, how much money I should contribute, how this plan works in general, all right, or anything along the retirement spectrum. Let us know. That's what we're here for, all right? So I know Dina will be passing out my information. It'll also be on the communication when we send out the notice that you can log into your accounts on the 28th. So with that being said, are there any questions, concerns that I can address for you at this time? And I know that we're up against the holiday here, all right? But if we can set a deadline of December 30th to have the forms back, that would be great. Okay.
So Rich, everybody that's currently enrolled in the plan nationwide, you need the form back from at least that group. And then anyone that's not already enrolled, you want theirs by the 30th as well, or is there an option to submit it later than that?
So Dina, when's the first payroll then?
December 31st, and then 2 weeks later, so second week of January.
So for those, so let's do this, all right? So the first payroll would be,
I think it's
the 14th?
Yep.
Okay. So for everyone, okay, if we can have the forms back no later than January 7th, that's for everyone. Because that will give me a couple days to get everyone in the system and get all of their accounts updated with their investment selections. So that gives everyone a little, you're not pushed for the holidays and trying to get this rushed through. So you can take your time and look through the material and fill out the forms. All right.
Okay.
And then you'll also have the ability come the 28th to log into the website to see anything that you want to look at as well.
And there won't be any, their money will not have been moved over at that point. It's just an open account for them that they can see.
Correct. So the nationwide money, like I said, won't be moving over until late November, late February.
Okay.
All right. So that gives everyone plenty of opportunities to kind of take a look at this. If you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to answer anything for you. You can email me or give me a call.
Okay. All right, Rich. Okay. Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Appreciate
Take care.
Your time. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.